So unlike the chemical vapor deposition, the physical vapor deposition utilizes different mechanisms for the formation of substrate layer. The first one is the electron beam evaporation, which utilizes an electron beam, and then there is a sputtering process which uses two mechanisms, diode sputtering as well as the magnetron sputtering. So we will now see about these different mechanisms. So the first one is the electron beam evaporation or the electron beam physical vapor deposition. So the figure shows the schematic representation of this process. So here there is a filament which is connected to a current supply of 5 ampere, which is a larger magnitude, and this filament will be emitting electrodes for this process. So the evaporant rod or the ingot from which the material needs to be evaporated is kept in a vacuum chamber, and this one is supplied with a 2.5 kilovolt voltage, which is positive in nature with respect to the filament, such that the electrons generated from the filament will travel to this ingot by the attraction of the positive charge. That is, the electrons from the filament is directed to the evaporant by means of a magnetic field. This magnetic field is also provided for directing the electrons towards the evaporant or the ingot. As the electrons or the electron beam hits this evaporant material, it gets heated above the vapor pressure by this electron beam. As a result of this continuous heating or the highly localized heating by this electron beam, the material in that portion gets vaporized as shown in this figure, and this evaporated material again deposited, it gets deposited on the substrate material to form the thin film. Here this ingot is positive with respect to the filament, that is the voltage is provided with positive with respect to the filament, and to avoid any chemical interactions between this filament as well as the ingot is kept at a distance from this filament. Also this magnetic field which is coming outside of the screen, pointed from the screen, will be employed to show the path for the electrons towards the ingot. Also an additional electric field can be used to steer this beam over the ingot surface for proper heating of the material, substrate material. Thus once the material gets heated, it's evaporated, and the vapor then gets deposited over the substrate material to form the film. So the electron beam evaporation has a higher deposition rate due to the high energy involved with the electron beam compared to the other methods. Now the electron beam or this process is controlled by four parameters. The first one is the power supply, which includes the current which is supplied to the filament, and thereby the number of electrons ejected from the filament is controlled. The second one is the source controller, which vary the evaporant voltage of the evaporant terminal. We saw that the ingot or the evaporant material is kept at a positive voltage with respect to the filament, and the source controller can control the voltage of this ingot. The sweep controller, it offers the precise control of the beam, that is the energy intensity of the beam as well as the radius of the beam, and by controlling this, by having such a precise control over the characteristics of the beam, we can use it to deposit small and spot films on the substrate. And also a crystal oscillator which is used, it determines the rate of evaporation. By using an crystal oscillator, we can control the rate of evaporation and thus the film thickness. Here the film thickness can be controlled by varying the current supplied to the filament as well as the rate of evaporation. We can produce mono layers where single material is used, or multi-material with having nanometer thickness. So in sputtering, the atoms are teared off from the source material and is deposited on the substrate. As you can see here, the atoms or the plasma particles, which could be atoms or ions, are bombarded on the source material, and the source material is, or the source atoms are teared off from this source material, and these teared atoms are deposited on the substrate particles here to form the thin film. That is, the layered atoms are deposited on the substrate to form the thin film, and this whole process is carried out in the vacuum chamber to avoid any discrepancies. The momentum transfer from the bombarding atom is used. Here, as you can see, the atoms or the plasma particles are coming at a kinetic energy with some kinetic energy, and the momentum of these incoming plasma particles are transferred on to the source material. This momentum transfer dislodges the atoms from their position, and these free atoms are then transferred on to the deposited on the substrate. Thus, in this process, there is no melting of the source material occurs. So, the two factors that depends the rate of deposition or the rate of this process of the thin film being deposited is the physical and chemical properties of the source material. That is, if the bond strength of the atoms are higher, then more momentum or the kinetic energy of the incoming plasma material will be required, and also the mass and energy of the bombarding material. If the material used is of higher mass, then the momentum will be higher and the process will be faster. Some other material used other than the ionized argon are aluminium alloys, platinum, gold and tungsten. All these have higher mass atoms, and also tungsten titanium alloy is also used for this process. So the first mechanism is the diode sputtering. Here there are two electrodes which are kept in a vacuum chamber, and a potential difference of the kilovolt range is applied between the two electrodes, the target as well as the substrate. Now the target material is the cathode, as it is given a negative potential from the power supply. It is a simple plate, and the anode, which is the substrate, it can be grounded or floating or biased. The pumps are given to create the gas flow within the vacuum chamber. Here also the process is same as the sputtering, and the electrons escape from the source and move around in the chamber, causing radiations. We know that the vacuum is provided to avoid any discrepancies or disturbances within the system, but the generation of the electrons from the source causes disturbances in the vacuum chamber, and these electrons are called as the waste electrons. As a result of these electrons, and since there is no mechanism to contain these electrons, the rate of the deposition rate of this process is low. The pressure supplied will be 0.5 to 10 Pascal. The temperature kept would be 100 to 500 degrees Celsius, and the slow deposition rates of 0.02 to 0.2 micrometer per minute is obtained by this method. So the second mechanism is the magnetron sputtering, and a magnetron is defined as an electron tube which is constituted by the interaction of electrons with electric and magnetic field. Here the main aim of this magnetron is to contain the waste electrons within the zone. So here a magnetic field is kept behind the source material or the cathode. Here the cathode is here, and a magnetic field is kept by using a magnet. And this confines the waste electrons to the target, which means that we know that the waste electrons present in the vacuum chamber will prove to be a disturbance for the deposition, and it reduces the deposition rate or the speed of deposition. Thus, using a magnetic field or the magnetron, it helps to confine the electrons towards the target, and thus it increases the speed of deposition or the sputtering rate. Thus, the magnetron helps to increase the sputtering rate. The deposition rate is 10 times faster than the diode sputtering, which we saw that it was 0.01 to 0.1 micrometer per minute.